What if I told you there's a type of YouTube video that has never, and I mean never, gone out of style since the platform launched? Seriously, think about it. Every other trend on YouTube comes and goes faster than your attention span during a math lecture. Dance challenges? Dead. Reaction videos? Oversaturated. Gaming content? Constantly evolving. But there's one category that's been printing money for creators since 2005, and it's not going anywhere. How-to videos. Tutorial content. Educational material that teaches you something practical. And here's what's wild, the biggest how-to channels aren't just surviving, they're absolutely dominating. We're talking about channels pulling in tens of millions of views per month, some generating revenue that would make traditional media companies jealous. But why? What is it about watching someone explain how to fix a leaky faucet or master a guitar chord that keeps us glued to our screens? The answer goes way deeper than you think, and it reveals something fascinating about human psychology and how our brains are literally wired to seek out this type of content. The psychology of learning hunger. Let's start with the science. According to research published in the journal Psychological Science, humans have what psychologists call an information gap theory. Basically, when we encounter a gap in our knowledge, our brains create a genuine psychological itch that demands to be scratched. Dr. George Loewenstein from Carnegie Mellon University, who pioneered this research, found that curiosity isn't just a nice-to-have emotion, it's a fundamental drive as powerful as hunger or thirst. When you see a thumbnail that says how to fix anything in 5 minutes, your brain literally releases dopamine in anticipation of filling that knowledge gap. But here's where it gets really interesting. The same neural pathways that activate when you're learning something new are the exact pathways that social media algorithms are designed to exploit. YouTube's recommendation system doesn't just track what you watch, it tracks how long you watch, when you pause, when you rewind, and even how your viewing patterns change after watching educational content. And guess what type of content consistently shows the highest completion rates, the most replays, and the longest average view durations? You guessed it, how-to videos. Think about your own behavior for a second. When was the last time you watched a how-to video all the way through? Compare that to the last time you finished watching a random vlog or entertainment video. I'm willing to bet the educational content kept you engaged longer, right? There's actually a term for this in behavioral psychology, goal-oriented viewing. When you click on a tutorial, you have a specific outcome in mind. You want to learn something, fix something, or improve at something. This creates what researchers call sustained attention. Your brain stays focused because it's working toward a concrete goal. But the psychological hooks go even deeper. Educational content triggers what psychologist Albert Bandura called self-efficacy, the belief that you can accomplish something. Every time you successfully follow a tutorial, your brain gets a hit of satisfaction and confidence. It's literally addictive. The most successful how-to creators understand this psychology intuitively. They structure their content to create what I call micro-victories, small moments of success that keep you coming back for more. That moment when the code finally runs, when the recipe turns out perfect, when you successfully change your car's oil for the first time, these aren't just practical wins, they're psychological rewards. Exploring the counter-argument, the saturation myth. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But isn't the how-to space completely oversaturated? How can anyone break through when there are already millions of tutorials on everything? This is probably the most common objection I hear from aspiring creators, and on the surface, it seems logical. YouTube is absolutely flooded with educational content. Search for how to tie a tie and you'll get literally millions of results. But here's the thing, and this might surprise you, saturation in the how-to space is actually a myth. And I can prove it with data. According to YouTube's own Creator Academy research, educational content has the highest evergreen potential of any category on the platform. While entertainment videos might go viral for a week and then disappear, a well-made tutorial can generate consistent views for years, even decades. But the critics aren't entirely wrong. The barrier to entry has definitely increased. You can't just point a camera at yourself and expect to dominate anymore. The successful how-to creators today understand something that most people miss. It's not about finding an untapped topic, it's about finding an untapped angle. Take cooking channels, for example. You think that space would be impossible to break into, right? Gordon Ramsay, Bon Appetit, Food Network. The gems are already there. But then you have creators like Joshua Weissman, who found success by focusing specifically on, but better content, taking popular restaurant dishes and showing how to make superior versions at home. Or Binging with Babish, who carved out a niche recreating fictional foods from movies and TV shows. The space isn't saturated, it's evolving. And evolution creates new opportunities. The perfect formula. So where does this leave us? We know that human psychology drives us toward educational content, and we know that algorithmic systems reward this type of engagement. But we also know that simple tutorials aren't enough anymore. The billion-dollar secret isn't just making how-to videos, it's understanding the intersection between psychological triggers, algorithmic optimization, and audience evolution. The creators who are absolutely crushing it right now have figured out what I call the Triple Crown formula. They combine practical education with entertainment value and personal branding. They're not just teaching you how to do something, they're making you feel something while you learn. Look at channels like Mark Robber. Sure, he's teaching engineering and science concepts, but he's packaging them as adventures, mysteries, and challenges. His video about creating the perfect squirrel-proof bird feeder isn't just educational, it's a narrative journey with characters, conflict, and resolution. Or consider channels in the personal finance space like 2 Cents or The Financial Diet. They could just explain budgeting spreadsheets, but instead they tackle the emotional and psychological aspects of money management. They're solving both practical and emotional problems simultaneously. This is where the real money is made. Anyone can teach someone how to change a tire, but if you can teach someone how to change a tire while also making them feel more confident about car maintenance in general, while also entertaining them enough that they want to share the video with friends, that's when you've created something genuinely valuable. The algorithm rewards this because it hits multiple engagement signals at once. High completion rates from the educational value, high replay rates from the entertainment factor, and high sharing rates from the emotional connection. The deeper questions. But this raises some fascinating questions about how we consume information in the digital age. Are we becoming better learners because of platforms like YouTube, or are we just becoming more dependent on bite-sized, pre-digested content? Think about it. When's the last time you tried to learn something complex without immediately searching for a tutorial? When's the last time you experimented, failed, and figured something out entirely on your own? There's research suggesting that easy access to how-to content might actually be changing how our brains approach problem solving. Some studies indicate we're becoming less likely to engage in what psychologists call productive struggle, the process of working through challenges that ultimately strengthens our learning abilities. On the flip side, democratized education through platforms like YouTube has given millions of people access to knowledge and skills that were previously locked behind expensive courses or years of formal education. A kid in rural Bangladesh can learn advanced programming from the same resources as someone at MIT. So maybe the real question isn't whether how-to content will continue to dominate YouTube, it's whether the shift toward tutorial-based learning is fundamentally changing what it means to be educated in the 21st century. Are we creating a generation of highly skilled specialists who can follow instructions perfectly but struggle with original thinking? Or are we democratizing knowledge in a way that will unleash human potential on an unprecedented scale? What do you think? Has YouTube made you a better learner, or just a more dependent one? And more importantly, what does this mean for the future of education itself?